Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's a girl Adedayo. Thank you for joining me today on these impressions. It's been a while we sat together and had a discuss about immigrating to Canada. I know, you don't have to say anything. I know. Today I just came in here to share a little bit of my knowledge on um what it means to have a visitor's visa and a work permit. And today I will be telling you the differences between both paths to immigration to Canada and how best you can utilize the opportunities that are attached to this path. So if this is something that you're interested in listening to today, I would plead that you stay until the end of this video to hear more about this topic. Okay, so let's get straight to it. So we have the visitor visa on one hand and we have the work permit on one hand. Many a times, new immigrants come into the country thinking, oh, how do I get in without having to go through a lot of stress? How do I come in with a visitor visa and still be able to get a work permit in order for me to be able to stay for long in Canada? Okay, on one hand, I have bad news for you, and the other hand, I have good news for you. So, which would you take first? If I were to make the decision, I would go with the good news first because I love good things, right? Okay, there is a part that actually allows you to be able to use your visitor visa to get a work permit. But before we get to that, I'm just going to be doing a brief introduction. I'm going to be doing a brief summary or a brief explanation of what it means to have a visitor visa, which we all know, right? But I will still go through explaining what it means to have a visitor visa vis-a-vis having a work permit and how you can convert your visitor's visa into a work permit in order to be able to work in Canada and have a life in Canada. Yeah, I know this is interesting for so many of you because it is what a lot of people have been doing of recent. And in as much as the rule before is that you cannot use a visitor visa to work, there are some exceptions to that. So I'll be getting into that very soon, but let's start. What is a visitor visa? So a visitor visa, according to what I have in my notes, I always have my notes, is an official document that allows you to get to travel and enter into Canada at will, as a visitor. You come, you enjoy yourself, you get to experience Canada and nothing else. You get to visit your friends, you get to do things with your people, get to visit places in Canada, enjoy yourself, and carry your bags and go back home. Guys, many a times many people don't want to do that. Many people want to stay back, but that's not really the point right now. The visitor visa allows you to come in and be a visitor. Okay, so this particular visa is stamped at the airport and it has a date. It gives you a date of arrival, and most of the times you have a 6 month window to go back to your home country. So it allows foreign nationals to come into the country to enjoy the space for about 6 months, and then they get to go back to their country. Now, moving on to the work authorization or work permit, like we all know it to be. Foreign nationals need a work permit to be able to work in Canada. If you did not come into the country with an express entry path or any other path that has been created by the Canadian government to be able to help people come in or to bring in foreign nationals into the country, if you're coming in through an employer, you most likely would have a work permit. So, a work permit is that document that allows you to be able to stay, that authorizes you to stay to work in Canada. It's as simple as it can be. And There are two types of work permits. We have the open work permit that allows you to work with any employer that you want, allows you to work and live in Canada for the period of your employment with any employer at all, except some certain employers that have not met the conditions of the government as regards employing foreign nationals. Because, yeah, you have to check that before you make any applications to work with an employer, because they have to be LMIA approved, which means they have to have gotten approval from the government as when it comes to the LMIA assessment, which is the labor market assessment, I guess. Yeah, the labor market assessment that allows them to bring in foreign nationals into the country to be able to work. They have to be approved. So you need to go on Google, or I'm gonna put a list of those employers that are allowed to um, get in or bring in foreign nationals into the country. I'm going to put a list of them in the description box below. If you're interested, you can check that out. And also, I'll put in the link or the description, I'll put a link in the description box where you can check to see how to apply for a visitor visa and how to apply for a work permit. All of that would be in the description box. So usually you guys don't read the description, so you would need to go into the description to get that information. And then there is the employer specific work permit that only allows you to work for a specific employer who is going to be in who's going to give you who's going to give you the employment offer in order for you to be able to work in Canada. Let me tell you this, just because you don't know, it is very difficult to be able to get employer specific work permit, because trust me, in as much as on the news you see that um, Canada has opened up several paths for immigration, I won't lie to you, especially when it comes to jobs. Jobs are scarce to get. Know that and know peace, okay? Especially when you don't have like a work permit already and you are intending to come into Canada as a visitor to get jobs. It is gonna be tough, because I'm not, well, everybody's situation is not gonna be the same. So I'm jumping to conclusion and just decide or say that it's gonna be tough for you. But just to let you know that it is not an easy thing to find a job with an employer specific work permit in mind, because you're gonna be in the field or in the labor market with a lot of people who are extra qualified for jobs and who already have work permits. And after all, it just makes sense that employers would prefer to have people who already have their work permits with them, because trust me, the process of having to do the old LMIA approvals and make an application for you to come and work for them is it's not an easy one, and most employers would not be willing to go through the rigors of having to do that. So if you're lucky and you can put in the work, you would be able to get a job and use an employer specific work permit. And just to buttress the point I made before about the employer specific work permit, the employer specific work permit must come with um, details on the kind of work you're going to do, the period at which you're going to work, and the location of that work. So you cannot change that work to any other work. The work permit was issued by that employer just because you want to work for that employer. So if you're intending to switch at any point in time, it's going to mess things up for you, because now you have to start looking for other ways to go about it, because that work permit would not allow you to do any other thing outside of the reason why you have the work permit. So it is employer specific. Now, moving on to the main reason why we're seated here today, to the main reason why I am here talking about this topic at all. Now, I have noticed that a lot of us Africans, especially most of us, want to come into the country with a visitor's permit, intending to convert it into a work permit. It is doable. Usually, it is not, but there has been a public policy path that was created by the government of Canada as regards bringing in a lot of immigrants. So, because they say that, I'm not saying it. So they say there has been a shortage in the labor market for eligible employees, and they're trying to create a path to bring in people to come and fill up the space, to come and fill up the gap. And so there is a path ongoing on right now that allows you to be able to convert your work permit. Geez, what am I saying? That allows you to be able to convert your visitor visa into a work permit. And how would this happen? So the first step is that you would need to get that job. Okay, you would need to get the job. You would need to find a job by yourself. So what that means is that you have to go on job sites, job portals. There are a lot of them in Canada. Indeed is the most common one, and then we have Glassdoor and a whole lot of others. I have done a video where I spoke about how to get a job in Canada and the sites that you can check in order to be able to get um, jobs in Canada. You can check the video that I would be showing up here. It would really help you to be able to navigate yourself around finding a job in Canada. It's not going to be an easy one. I would just let you know beforehand that it's not going to be an easy one, because finding a job in Canada, it's not child's play. So um, once you found yourself the job, it has to be a job that is LMIA approved. I'm not very comfortable calling LMIA. Yeah, of a Makomilenu. So sorry. LMIA approved. It has to be LMIA approved, and you also have to make sure that that employer is willing to go all the way to assist you in getting the work permit, because trust me, a lot of employers might not be willing to go through the rigors, like I said before. So get yourself the job, go through the job portals, get yourself an offer of employment from your employer, and from the employer rather, and once you're able to land the job, ensure that you get a job offer from them, a job offer, a job letter. Once you have gotten the job, next is to apply for the work permit. I'll put in the description box a link to how you can apply for your work permit, so you'll be able to just get that started once you have gotten the job. The hard part about this is getting that job. Okay, if you're able to land yourself that job, more the rest is history. Okay, so if you have found an employer that is able to push you through the whole thing, you're lucky. You are lucky, and you would be able to get your work permit. And the sky is the starting point for you, because that is just the start for you to be able to get your permanent residence in Canada. Wow. Wow. You've done it for yourself. Okay, so it's not an easy part. I won't lie to you. It sounds so easy talking about it, but once you are in it, you know what you're gonna go through. Well, this is just the video for today. I just came here to rant and talk about the work permit path and visitors, the visitor visa. So, guys, I have done a video. I need your support in order to be able to move my channel forward. Can you please subscribe to my channel? I am begging you in the name of the Lord. Subscribe to my channel, please. Like this video so that the algorithm would know that I'm back, and share if you're able to. Thank you for watching this channel today. My name remains Ade Dayo. Do have a wonderful day, and bye for now.